I'm standing in front of a convenience store, Cloud 9 on Park Avenue near National in Long Beach. Why am I here? Because of this week's Parsha. The end of the Parsha, which has so many things in it, talks about the mitzvah of Aliyah L'Regel, of making the pilgrimage festivals, going 3 times a year to see and experience the miracles of the Beis HaMikdash, the Mishkan. And the Torah tells us this takes place on Chag HaMatzos, Pesach, Chag HaKatzir, the festival of the harvest, which is Shavuos, and then it says Chag HaAsif. It doesn't say Chag HaSukkos, as it does almost everywhere else. It's the festival of the ingathering. Now, it's true, Sukkos is the festival of the ingathering, but why is it not called Chag HaSukkos here? The Meshech Chachma of Dvinsk, of Latvia, asks this question. And in order to answer it, he cites the opinion of the Vilna Gaon from Vilna, which is south of Latvia, south of Dvinsk. The Vilna Gaon was asked, why, and it's a question everybody asks, why is Sukkot celebrated in the fall when it should be celebrated in the spring? If it represents the clouds of glory that protected the Jews, or the booths that we lived in, well, why don't we celebrate that when the Jewish people started using it, which was Yetzias Mitzrayim in Pesach time? Why isn't Sukkot right after Pesach? Why is it right after Sukkot? So the Vilna Gaon answered that the original idea of the festival was about the gathering, and the clouds only came later. The clouds only came because really there are no festivals about the other miracles, the mun, the water, the clouds is only one of the miracles that took place. But really, why do we have a festival for the clouds? Because we lost the clouds. Says the Vilna Gaon, at the Sin of the Golden Calf, one of the losses was that of protection, was that of the clouds. And the Jewish people didn't have the clouds anymore, but they came back. They came back on Yom Kippur, when the second tablets were given, when the Jewish people were forgiven. And because they were brought back, that's when we celebrated, right after Yom Kippur, 5 days after Yom Kippur. So at the time, says the Meshech Chachma, the time that Mishpatim is being told in the first mitzvah of the Aliyah Regel is mentioned, the clouds were still there. They hadn't been lost and then regained. And therefore, that's why we have the festival in the spring, in the fall, right after Yom Kippur. And that's why it's so significant. We should always experience Hashem's protection. Our Chayalim should experience Hashem's protection. Our beloved Eretz Yisrael should feel Hashem's protection. We should all have a beautiful Rosh Chodesh and a beautiful, beautiful Shabbos.